Okay, guys, welcome back to the show. And I've got another segment this month with people from Pavement Music. And today on the show, I have the band Uncured. And the guys, I'll let you introduce yourselves.
What's up, everybody? I'm Rex.
And I'm Zach. We're with Uncured, and we're stoked to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thanks, guys. Whereabouts are you guys coming from at the moment in the States?
We are based in New Jersey, and that's like home base for us.
That's like a pretty popular place in the States, isn't it, for music with bands? Obviously, Bon Jovi being probably the biggest one that's come from there, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of big bands coming from Jersey, and we're hoping to take up that crown because we're proud Jersey boys, and we're just very grateful to do what we get to do.
That's right.
Yeah. If we talk about Uncured, which we're going to get onto at the moment, but I'm just curious to know how you two guys know each other, and have you always played in bands together, or have you just come together in this one?
How we know each other? Well, back in 1998, Zach was born.
I was 2 when he was born,
and then 2 years later, I was born. And we actually started playing guitar together when I was 10 and Zach was 12, but we actually quit a couple of times because we were so young that we didn't even really understand guitar or music. We were more interested in playing sports, that kind of stuff. And it was kind of 3 or 4 years later that we went back to it and really found the passion for music and guitar and started writing our own songs together. And then when I turned 16, I dropped out of high school. Zach was 18 because we had the opportunity to tour with a band called Catatonia, and we couldn't turn that down. So luckily, from that point on, we've been touring ever since professionally, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah. And you guys, like, obviously, what age are you guys now? Because you still look very young.
So I am 24,
and I'm 22.
Okay, you guys look even younger than that.
Oh
well, we have a very flattering lighting going on in person. we look our age.
It's probably
do you have any problems? Do you have any problems with security getting in to play these shows, guys?
There's only ever really been one problem. I don't know if I even told you this because it's a bad look for me.
What?
This was a long time ago. So everybody on tour has a tour laminate, right? And they usually give one per person. Do not lose it. That's the rule. So I didn't lose it, but this was when I think I was 17. So like I probably did at the time just look like a kid trying to sneak into the venue. So I was in the back parking lot where all the bands were parked.
Where was this?
It was some Midwestern state on the Double Driver tour.
Okay.
And I didn't have keys to the van where my pass was, but the venue was locked. And get this, there was no service. So I had no choice but to get into the venue or break into my own van. And the security guard gave me a very hard time. But I got really lucky because this was like 10 minutes before our stage time. Got really lucky because somebody from one of the other bands was coming out at the same time and they vouched for me. But I got held up for a good 4 or 5 minutes when I didn't have that much time to spare. So ever since then, I've been like super aware. Like, this is my pass, this is my phone, wallet, like everything. I quadruple check like every time I go anywhere, and you do the same thing because I'll hear him go like phone, wallet, like he taps
wallet,
everything,
keys, in ears. Got it. Like, we could talk more about like on tour and stuff, but there's so many things you have to keep track of that would suck to lose. So we always go crazy about that.
Yeah, that is actually one thing that we've never really talked about in an interview, but there are just so many things to keep track of on tour that it changes the way that your brain like thinks because instead of processing all of the external information, I feel like most of the time we have to keep track of like 16 different pieces of physical gear as well as all of our personal belongings, personal gear, in-ears, like everything. So a very big part of tour is actually just is just like gear management. And
because I actually over here in December I got the opportunity to work with Fozzy, Chris Jericho's band, and I got one of the passes as well, because they wanted me to do some social media videos for them. And they were very strict on, I had someone with me. I was like, oh, can I bring someone with me with this pass? And they were like, absolutely not, because you will not believe the amount of times that gear goes missing and all this kind of thing. It's like, we trust you. You can have the pass, but don't bring anyone else through. You know, and I could see, like, it was the first time I was kind of working backstage at a show, but I understand, like, especially when you're going from city to city, how careful you have to be with people, letting people into your circle to work with you.
Oh, right. Yeah. And we actually tour. We roll pretty hard when we tour because we just have the five people in the van total. So we sleep in the van basically every single night. It's the 4 guys in the band and our manager who does live sound at front of house. And yeah, I mean, it's 5 guys putting on what we think is a 5,000 capacity quality show. So it takes a lot of effort, and everybody has like multiple jobs that they're working. Like I will also do hours and hours of driving. I'm the night driver. Zach does merch. Basically everybody has a lot of responsibilities because we want to keep our circle tight.
That's right.
Yeah. Are you guys finding yourselves these days using a lot of, are you cut back on using big amps like kind of everyone else is, and you're kind of using virtual stuff now?
Oh yeah, we switched to virtual Axe Effects in 2017, I believe. We did 2 tours with amps and cabs, and it was just such a hassle. And it's like there's never space on stage,
and it just sound as good in our
it's just extra noise. Yeah. And so in 2017 we made the switch, and I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, it's great for logistical purposes, isn't it? For big tours and stuff.
Yeah, we even looked into seeing if we could do away with the Axe Effects and just do everything through the computer. But we have too many effects that we can get away with doing that for bass, but not for the guitars. Not yet, at least.
You still using the proper drum kit, or are you gone electric with that?
Well, a real drum kit.
Always real drums.
Yeah. I was talking to people about that, and some people have went to the electric because they find without amps on stage now that the drums kind of drowns everything else out when you're up on stage. Do you find that now at the moment?
No, I think that we've gotten used to it, and we have in-ears, so we actually don't use any wedges or monitors, which kind of makes it a much more enclosed environment, which is really convenient because that way we'll never really be stuck with like a terrible stage mix.
Right.
But I understand the temptation to want to go to an electric kit, but I just think it would be a bad call because it just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right.
It doesn't look cool.
Yeah. And there's like when people are watching it, and I've seen bands with electric kits, and it doesn't really bother me, but I see a lot of people in the crowd and they'll have like their arms folded and they'll just be kind of disgusted that it's there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and the in-between is you've seen some bands that have the glass shield in front of their drums. That also is very strange to me because it's like, I don't know. It's like the drummer's a mime is kind of what I think of whenever I see it.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to have a little look at your latest single here now.
Let's do it.
And we're going to talk through this. Yeah.
Nice. Let's break it out.
I'm sticking by you, right beside you. You're not alone right now, so let's break out.
Oops.
You've been through hell, and I know it hurts. Yeah, I can tell.
Who are these guys?
That the pain is real, so let me kill those awful memories. 'Cause I would die to make things right. You're not alone in hell, I'm sticking by you, right beside you. You're not alone right now, so let's break out. Yes, I know I made mistakes, but now I love what we became. 'Cause you're not alone right now, so let's break out. I lost my mind.
Maurice, can you hear
really impressive. Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. For some reason, when I listened to it earlier, there's kind of like a little melody that sounds a little bit Irishy there in the middle of it. Do.
I think if we play that with a very different instrumentation, you could totally Yeah, you could totally rock out to that on bagpipes or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, how would you describe your guys' style then? Would it be like, is there more of that kind of thing in the EP, or how different is it from what we're hearing from that single?
So we've been a band for over 5 years, and it's taken us kind of a long time to really zero in and find our sound. And this EP still has a fair amount of variety to it. So this song is definitely the most upbeat, happy-go-lucky, positive energy song on the EP.
Yeah.
And we decided to lead with that because we just like the message of "Let's Break Out," and you know how that was hopefully metaphorical for the EP and kind of our re-debut to the world. But I think that the fans of metal, which, you know, at our core we're a metal band, for the fans of metal, you guys are going to like all the upcoming songs because it gets a lot darker, more aggressive, and I think there's a lot more substance to the upcoming tracks.
That's right.
Yeah. So for a track like that, then it's obviously, when I look at it, I'd say, wow, it's a really good song. But you could also imagine it getting radio play. And I know like radio play is massive over in the States at the moment. It's not so big here for bands. Unfortunately, we don't have that many radio stations. But does that factor in to you guys thinking when you want to release a single?
Yeah, so this is actually on the radio right now, and it's charting on some of the charts, doing pretty good. And that was the goal for this song. We wanted it to be accessible, catchy, radio friendly, and things that people will sing along to and remember.
Yeah,
I think that this song is an undeniable earworm because it starts and then right on the hook, and also, you know, it's very, very little screaming. I call this like very accessible screaming, you know, just at the end of that song. So I think that this song is an entry point to some of our heavier and more aggressive music.
Definitely.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's kind of important to put it that way, isn't it? Because these days, obviously, with the radio play and stuff like that, I've had interviews with many bands, and like one of them was Billy from Fozzy, and he said to me, you know, our style has changed over the years, and he said to me, music is about hooks. That's what it's about. It's about getting hooks and hopefully getting on the radio as well, because it's a massive thing.
Well, it's so hard to capture somebody's attention in the modern era, right? And you see that more and more with like younger people because like, you know, we go to our local gym here, and it's recently been inundated by a lot of high school kids. And the way that I've watched them process information, Instagram, it's swipe, like, swipe, like, it's
TikTok, all that stuff.
TikTok. If somebody doesn't hook their attention in like 1.5 seconds, like there's probably a specific number, somebody's probably studied it, but it's so fast, right? So it's so hard to capture somebody's attention. And, you know, songs are still usually going to be upwards of 2.5 minutes. So you have to hook somebody right away. And like I said, this song is an entry point. So I think that, you know, if we can capture some young minds with this one, hopefully they'll be more interested in some of the songs that I think have, you know, more substance.
Yeah, you even see with a big band like Metallica, a lot of their songs used to be 8, 9, 10 minutes long, and now they're releasing singles, maybe 3.5 minutes. Just kind of the way the world has gone now, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of touring then, guys, like obviously you've been touring a lot, and what way did the pandemic kind of affect what you were trying to do? Like, was that a massive blow for the band?
Well, we had to cancel a lot of dates. We had some festivals in Asia. We had a tour in Japan and China, which would have been, you know, fantastic, and we would have loved to do it. But obviously, nothing's a big blow because we will be doing that in the future, and we're going to get all those things back. We're going to get rebooked to that festival when it comes around again. And it gave us more time just to work on our music and our craft. And we took the most of that time working out, writing new songs, and just getting ready to get back on the road.
Any plans to come over to Europe?
There is a chance that we'll be doing shows in Europe at the end of this year. But so far, all of the stuff that we have confirmed is in the US, primarily East Coast and Midwest. We only have 2 shows announced so far, which are the 2 festivals.
Yes, we have Welcome to Rockville in May and we have Incarceration in July, both big festivals. We're very stoked for those. We're going to have US dates routing into and out of them, and we're going to be releasing those soon.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And what way do you guys approach festivals? I'm always curious to know about bands as well, because obviously you're doing your own shows, you've got your own people, your own fans there. When you're going to do festivals, what changes in your minds or in your set?
You know, I think that we want our set to be as captivating as possible. So
yeah,
we actually don't really change much between a festival and a full Uncured performance. Usually the biggest difference is the time of day we're playing and the set length. So in this upcoming set, every set we're going to be playing for this year and hopefully into the future too, because, well, I'll just say we're going to be doing a cover of One Step Closer, and we actually have that cover officially recorded and on the EP as well. So I just can't wait to play festivals and hear thousands of people scream "Shut up" when I'm talking to you. I just think it's going to be awesome. So more than anything, we're just very, very excited.
The irony of you guys mentioning that to me is absolutely hilarious, because I over here in Ireland, like, I'm a metal DJ and I specialize in new metal nights in Dublin. So we do like Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, all that stuff, and I've got one tomorrow night with a Linkin Park tribute band. So just the irony that you mentioned that to me. I can't wait to hear that cover as well. It's not an easy song to cover.
Yeah, no, it was such a fun challenge to get to do a Linkin Park song, because I would say Chester is probably the GOAT of rock vocals, greatest of all time to do it, and especially the greatest live singer, because there's plenty of guys that are fantastic on a record, but I mean, and Chester was fantastic in studio, but he was arguably even better live. So it was just a really fun challenge to get to do that, and I can't wait to get to sing that song on stage. It's going to be awesome.
On a side note, did you see Chester's version of Adele's Rolling in the Deep?
Yeah, I have. That's
is fucking tops, man. And that was live as well in London, just live straight through. He was absolutely brilliant at that.
I think the video I've seen two. One of them, I think he just sang like off the cuff at like a meet and greet or something. It was before a show. And then I think
I think that happened also.
Yeah, and like the fact that he's just casually singing that before doing a 2-hour set is unthinkable to me, because I'm like, I'm not gonna talk, I'm not gonna do anything, I gotta save my voice, and he's just casually singing a really hard song and singing it amazingly. So that was so cool.
Yeah. Guys, look, I know it was a quick catch up today, but the best thing for me to do now is hand it over to you guys and tell people where they can find you, where they can get my design when it drops. Floor is yours.
Yeah. So first, we'd love for people to follow us on Instagram at Uncured Band, as well as our Facebook page, and to follow and stream Uncured on Spotify. That helps a ton. It means a lot. And also watching our music videos and commenting, just engaging with us online really helps get our name out there. And that's so important for bands these days. And our album is currently scheduled for June 2nd. And it will be available for purchase and streaming on all the major digital platforms.
Yeah. Guys, I wish you all the best with everything. And hey, if you are hitting up Europe, let me know. And hopefully we might see you guys in Dublin soon.
Of course, we would love to.
Thanks, guys.